Again, I will be taking same example of class car. If you look at the code, the first constructor where the parentheses are empty is called as a default constructor. This one. This is my default constructor. There can be only one default constructor in your class. Even though you create 10 objects, the data assigned to the object will be the same. Your no-argument object will invoke the default constructor and it will have this data. No-argument object is this thing where you don't pass any arguments to the object. The data is hard-coded inside the default constructor. Hence, when you create an object, call to the constructor goes implicitly and this data get assigned to the instance variables. Now, what if I want to pass different data to my object? Here comes the need for parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor is the constructor that accepts arguments or data from the object. You can have multiple parameterized constructors in your class. So, in this class car, we have one default constructor and two parameterized constructors. Also, I have written a method display which returns string data to print the data of an object. Let us start the execution from the class constructor demo. Class constructor demo contains main method. Your execution starts from here. Here we have created an object named C. So when the interpreter reads the statement, object will be created inside the heap and reference variable C is created on the stack. Here is the reference variable created and this is my object C. Memory for instance variable will be reserved inside the object. So when the object is created, it gives a call to the default constructor implicitly. Interpreter will check where is the code for the constructor with empty parenthesis and the control of the program from here will go to this block of code over here. So values to the instance variables are initialized. Color equal to red. Red will be stored inside the memory space reserved for instance variable color inside the object C. Brand equal to BMW. BMW will be stored inside the memory space reserved for variable brand inside object C. And type equal to sedan. When this statement will execute, value sedan will be stored inside the memory space reserved for instance variable type inside the object C. System.out.println default constructor will be printed to the output screen. After the execution of the code, control comes back and next line is executed. Next is system.out.println c.display. This is a call to display method. Display method is a non-static method, hence we are calling it using an object. So from here, control of the execution will go to the display method and code inside the display method will execute. So what code are we writing? We are returning the values of the instance variable. Color equal to value of color, that is red, is retrieved. Brand equal to value of brand, that is BMW, is retrieved. Type equal to value of type, that is sedan, is retrieved. So this whole string will be written back. It will be written back to the println method and the data is printed. And SOP, that is system.out.println, will print the data. We have created one more object, that is object C1, and we are passing values to the parameterized constructor from this object C1. So car C1 equal to new keyword will allocate memory to the object. A new object is created on the heap. This is the reference C1 created on the stack and this is the object created on the heap. It will have its own copy of instance variables, color, brand and type, and you are passing values black, Audi and sports car. So as soon as the object is created, it will give an implicit call to the constructor. Now which constructor? How will the interpreter understand which parameterized constructor it should call? Interpreter checks the number of arguments passed and sequence of the data types. Here we are passing 3 arguments and all 3 arguments are of data type string. So interpreter will check whether there is any constructor in your class which is having 3 parameters and all 3 parameters are of type string. If it finds the match, call to the constructor is given. If there is no such constructor in your class, you will get a compile time error. Your program will not get compiled and the bytecode will not get generated. But if it finds the match, the interpreter will call the same constructor and not any other constructor. So this is how interpreter understands which constructor it should call. Now object C1 is created. From here, the control of the execution will go to the parameterized constructor. And these values, first argument is black. So C equal to black. Second argument is odd, B equal to odd. And the third argument is, so T equal to sports car. The values passed through the object are stored inside these local variables. So inside the memory there will be a space for this constructor where its local variables will be reserved. So the constructor having 3 parameters, all of type string, has 3 local variables, that is variable C, value black is assigned to variable C, variable B, value odd is assigned to variable B, and variable T. Sports car is assigned to T. The memory for local variable is reserved and the values are stored inside it. After this, code inside the constructor will execute. The first statement is color. What is color? Color is an instance variable. So instance variable color is equal to C. The value of C is black. Hence, inside object C1, there is a space reserved for instance variable color and value black will be stored inside this. Next statement is instance variable brand equal to B. B is having value odd. So, odd is assigned to instance variable brand and brand will have its value odd. Next statement is type equal to T. So T is having value sports car. So this value, value sports car is assigned to instance variable type and this is stored inside the object. After execution of this code, control will go back to the point from where it was called and next statement is executed. Next is SOP C1.display. So we are again calling out display method on object C1. So from here, control of the program will go to the display method. We are calling out display method on object C1. Hence, data of object C1 is written back. So it invokes the value of color is black, the value of brand is odd, and instance variable type will invoke its value, that is sports car. And this whole string is written back to the println method. So after execution of this constructor, memory reserved for its local variables will be released. Once the execution is completed, the memory inside the stack is removed and used for another execution. Here the memory is released after execution of this object. We are creating one more object, that is C2, car C2 equal to new car, and we are passing one string parameter. Now the interpreter will check for the constructor having one parameter of type string. So the object is created on the heap and reference variable C2 is created on the stack. Once the object is created, control of the program will go to the matching constructor over here, and the string argument we are passing is stored in this local variable. So B equal to merc. And there will be a space reserved for local variables on the stack, especially for constructor having one parameter of type string. Its local variable is B and the value passed to the constructor is stored inside the local variable. Now the code we are writing is brand equal to B. Instance variable brand equal to local variable B. Value of B is retrieved, that is value merc, and we are writing brand equal to merc. So inside the object, instance variable brand will have its value merc. We are not assigning values for color and type, hence these values will be null. And the next statement is we are printing out the data of an instance variable. So it will print brand and the value of instance variable brand is invoked and it is printed. After the execution, control goes back and the program terminates. So after completing all the methods, this stack will be empty and the runtime stack will be destroyed by the JVM before terminating the program.